Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1385. Wow, we're just 15 away from 1400. Wow. Mike Matthews here at Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro-Valleyton. We're in Podcastro-Valleyton today. And today we hear from Madame Rutabaga Valentino, Bison Bentley, plus the wonderful, interesting news segment called
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Pause. It's called Pause. Dramatic Pause. No, it's called Live and Loco. We'll get to some interesting news from
Mike's Daily Podcast
today. Hey, I forgot to mention that I was at comic book convention, and I noticed a lot of fat people that don't ever exercise, and they read a lot of comic books, which are a bunch of lies, because it's all drawn, it's not real people, it's all fiction.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I was just perturbed when I went to a comic book convention. No, I've never been to a comic book convention, and I think I'll keep it that way.
Daily
I've been to a country music convention.
Podcast.
That was fun, because there are lots of big bubbas, and lots of fattening food, and lots of, hey, did you hear the new Tim McGraw? I sure did. Tim McGraw's great, Tim McGraw. No, I was supposed to do a millennial excursion. Oh, look who just walked in. On the 4th of July. And I ended up not doing it because my friend Katie, she called me and said, hey, you want to walk our dogs? She's got a dog named Allie. I got Basil the Boxer, of course. And so we ended up walking the dogs. And so if you did show up, look who else walked in. And you wanted to go on a millennial Mike excursion on 4th of July and meeting at Coal Canyon Park, and I wasn't there, I'm sorry. We'll do it again, though, real soon. Maybe today. No. I don't know.
And here's today's podcast picture.
It's too hot today. That's what the picture's about how hot it is. And Basil the Boxer, he's cooling down in the picture. That you can see at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, as well as help out the show with the Amazon link. Click on that, buy whatever it is you're going to buy, and that makes us happy. It makes the world a wonderful place. It's also got the PayPal there if you'd like to click on that and help us out. You'll become an inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster and get a special greeting from all the Cafe Anyway characters. All there at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Speaking of podcast Cafe Anyway characters, look who walked in. Hello, Michael Masters, Madam. Rutabaga, and I showed up for the Millennial Mike excursion, and you weren't there. Woo! It's for millennials, though. But I've been alive for over thousands of years, so that's kind of making me a millennial as well. Oh, because you've been alive for millennia. I think it's the plural of that. Yes, you're a millennia, is what you are. You're crazy is what you are. Ooh. And look who else is here. Hello, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant. And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that? Wow. You totally didn't do your catchphrase very well today, Bison Bentley. Yeah, well, shut up. Do you know that? That's a little bit better. Hey, I was listening to a thing on the 4th of July about bison in Golden Gate Park. I thought there weren't bison there anymore, buffalo, but there are. So I would like to go and see them. Hey, my very rich ex-brother-in-law bought a house in San Francisco. I'm so happy for him. But, the only way he could do that is because he's very rich. Good for him. And I would not live in San Francisco if you paid. Yes, I would if you paid me. But it's not the end-all, be-all for me. I've been there many times, and I couldn't wait to leave. It's too crowded. It's too expensive. The stores are too expensive. Yeah, you're surrounded by fantastic restaurants. But, yeah, that's called lifestyle creep, I found out about. Things that you spend money on that you never double check, and you go, oh my God, how much money have I spent on stupid things that I don't really need? When I was married, I ate out all the time with my wife. all the time we ate out. We ate out so much that eating out became normal. And that food is so bad for you. Restaurants, they want you to come back. They want it to be as tasty and delicious as possible. They add butter. They add all kinds of stuff to the food, make it fattening as hell. Yeah, it's delicious, but it's fattening as hell. So if you can cook at home and grab as many non-processed ingredients as possible, get your fresh vegetables, your fresh fruits, your grains and whatnot, and make something good out of that. Lettuce. I just wanted to say the word lettuce. I think that will be our show word today. I'm writing it down. Lettuce. I love lettuce. There's all kinds of lettuce. I used to hate lettuce. Speaking of Tim McGraw, he has a song called My Next 30 Years that was written by Phil Vassar. And he goes, in my next 30 years, I'm going to watch my weight, eat a few more salads, and not stay up so late. And that is what I guess I've been doing since I turned, 40, I think 46 is when I really started getting into lettuce. And you know what? It doesn't have to be boring. You can put things on there. You just got to be thinking with your head. Remember, ranch dressing has got a bunch of fat in it. It's no good. It's delicious if you use a little bit, but it's no good. You got to be careful. Got to be mindful of fat. I don't know where I'm going with this, folks. I'm assuming there's more than one folk listening. So, folks, Volkswagen, the car of the people, is what that is in German. My point being, I should have learned how to play the drums. No, that you really have to watch out what you make the new normal. What you make normal in your life. Is it costing you a lot? Is it a waste of money? Is it a money suck? What is it? And when I was married, my wife and I had all this money suck. All this lifestyle creep. There was not only eating out every day, for every meal, but there was stuff that would go bad in the fridge. There was memberships to gyms that were never used, and that sucked. $20, $30 out of the budget out of the bank, out of the account every month. Hey, I guess I've kind of turned this into the cutting corners corner.
The cutting corners corner.
Yeah, that's what this is. The cutting corners corner. So just basically be aware of things that you're spending money on that you don't need to. I just was amazed. Oh, the other thing too was the Sprint. We were with Sprint, and Sprint was pulling so much money out every month, and we weren't even using. We had this unlimited plan, but neither she nor I were even using like a little bit of the data on our phones, and so when we got divorced, I eventually said, "Hey, let's you know what? I'm going to use Cricket." And she said, "I'm going to keep the old plan." I'm like, "Have fun with that. Bye." And she apparently has still got it. I could give a crap about Sprint. I don't understand Sprint now. I don't understand why they teamed up with Jay-Z. I don't get that. I don't get Jay-Z. I was listening to an NPR show, and they were going, "Hey, coming up on the show, they named all these people I can't wait to hear. Yeah, we're going to talk to this person and that person, and we're going to find out about this author's new book." And I'm like, "Oh, I think I read one of that person's books. Oh, wow. We're going to talk to this. That sounds interesting. And that politician. Oh, that politician." And then they go, "But first, we're going to talk to a rapper by the name of Click." I turned it off. I don't want to hear them talk to no rapper. No, actually, I sat through, I forget what rapper it was, but it's very interesting. He used to be on a drum line, grew up playing on a drum line. I don't know. I thought that was cool. But most of the time when I hear rapper, because I'm white and I'm male and I was born in the late 60s, rap didn't really come around when I was young. It came later, so I don't quite understand it, but some stuff I like. I'm all about Kid Rock. No, I'm not. No. And I'm not about Cortex either. Cortex is a company in the building where I work during the week when I'm in Podcastro Valley, Mont. Cortex has the rudest people I have ever met. They are so rude. I run into them. Well, the women that work there are great. The guys that work there, the women that work there, they'll say hi to me. They're really cool. The guys, you say hi, they look at you like, how dare you even talk to me? They never smile. They never say anything, and they just look at you like, oh my God, who do you think you are? Just the meanest people. Cortex. I don't know what that is. If it's a bunch of guys that decided we're only going to hire idiot guys. Horrible. Do you know any companies like that? You can call me 336MM-DAILY. 336MM-DAILY. Or email me at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. There was someone that used to work at my Podcastro Valleyton job that was, let's just say he was a talker, and he was young. He was in his early 20s, and he talked and talked and talked, would talk my ear off, and he would come on. My shift would end, and then he would come in right after my shift. And he would come in a little bit early, talk my ear off. Next thing I know, I'm 20 minutes. I've been off for 20 minutes, and I should be out the door. And he kept talking. I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad he's gone. But Mike, you should just say to him, hey, shut up. I want to go. I've worked all day. I'm out of here. It's the weekend. Yeah. I'm too nice. That's my issue. But you know what? We need more nice people in this world. There's too many jerks, too many people that think they can take advantage of you by talking your ear off when you should be leaving and going. They should have said, right when it was 6 o'clock and time for me to leave, they should have said, but you know what, Mike? I'll talk to you more about it next time. It's 6 o'clock. You need to go and enjoy my vacation. No, he kept talking about stupid, young 20-something stupidness. Now, on the other end, at my Podcastro Valleyton job, there's an old person that hosts a show, and I hear their show when I'm here on the weekend, and they pre-record it. And I cannot believe how old this person is, and they were popular. This person was a popular DJ on the radio waves of San Francisco Bay Area. Back in the day, about 20 years ago, there was this format called Adult Contemporary, and they would play Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Michael Bolton, Journey, all the soft stuff, but stuff that kind of maybe had a little bit of tempo to it, like Steve Winwood's stuff, just all that stuff. And they only hired people with this old sound. And I remember applying to so many radio stations that had that format, because I was really familiar with that format. And at the Top 40 format. And I've always had this youngish voice. And they would never hire me. They wanted that old voice. Well, now, that old voice sounds ridiculous. And millennials want authenticity. They don't want that fake 1980s, 1990s, even into the O's, there was this fake style of jock, of DJ, and it's no good no more. It doesn't work. You need authenticity when you talk on the radio waves. The millennials aren't going to be there. Anyway, this person sounds so friggin' old, and I hear them every weekend, and I laugh, and they're like, Ed Sheeran's all over the place right now. That's his latest song, Castle on the Hill. But, happy birthday, Mr. President. Ed Sheeran, he's all over. He's going to be in the next Game of Thrones. Oh my God! Finally, as we wrap up the Cutting Corners Corner, I was told by the guy that hosts the money show that I help produce during the weekday mornings that People are Airbnb-ing their houses in the Bay Area. It is so popular. So many people want to come to the Bay Area. And I was thinking, I have a house. Yeah, believe it or not, I do. I didn't buy it through radio, though. I was unfortunate in that I lost a relative who, in a nice gesture, left me their house. So I was able to sell that in order to buy a house here, and I bought, luckily, during the economic downturn, so I was able to get a pretty nice house in the Bay Area, despite the fact that the Bay Area is always so expensive. So should I Airbnb my house? That is a question of, hey, do you want strangers in your house? I already try and keep my house clean. I could vacuum a little bit more, but I don't know. Should I Airbnb? To Airbnb or not to Airbnb? That's a question. And for those of you who don't own a house and you rent, be happy that you rent, because when something goes wrong and you own a house, it's expensive, my friend, and it's nerve-wracking as hell. Whereas if you're renting, you call up that landlord and they take care of it, hopefully. If they don't, you can report them. It's California. And I will never, speaking of my house, never host another party at my house. Never going to host another get-together at my house. Last time, I had so many just guests. Well, I had one guest in particular who was very demanding, and it upset me. It upset me a lot. I don't want to be... I want to host a party with people I like that are enjoyable. Well, Mike, just invite enjoyable people. Maybe I will. But see, I thought this person was enjoyable. Do people now at parties, are people still good guests, is my question. Do people know how to be good guests? There's you have a good host, but are people nice guests is the question. Do people know how to do that? Or are they demanding as hell because everyone feels so entitled today? I want this, this, and this. Do you have this and this and this? No, we don't. Oh, well, I can't have this, this, and this. Do you have that, that, and that? No. See, I don't know if I can deal with all that with a party. Anyway, Cafe Anyway. That's what we were covering here today. But now we got to get to the news.
Live and loco.
God damn, he loves to hear himself talk.
What?
We will zip through these because I see I've already talked for quite a while. Nikki Haley, I'm attracted to her. She's brilliant, she's smart, she's beautiful. The U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, yes, a Republican. But she was asked, you know what? She has to deal with so much with Trump. I just am impressed with her. She was asked yesterday what consequences Russia will face as a result of its interference in the 2016 election, and she declined to specify, telling Face the Nation and their moderator, John Dickerson, who, by the way, used to have a podcast on Panoply, and I hate Panoply. I hate Slate. I thought I was liberal till I started listening to Slate podcasts and the Panoply network of podcasts, and I went, wow, I am so not liberal because these people are whack jobs on this podcast network. And John Dickerson used to have, it was called the Political Trail or the Train or the Political Train or Freedom Train or something about that, about elections that take place and what happened during elections. And what he would do is he wouldn't talk to you like I'm talking to you. I'm being authentic. I'm being real. I've just opened up a vein and I'm pouring it out for you on this podcast. John Dickerson would have his piece of paper and he would just read it verbatim. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. It was, and I would listen to it and go, I can't concentrate. I can't listen to what John Dickerson is saying because, and he's saying interesting things and giving me a huge chunk of fascinating history, political history, American history. No, I can't because he's reading it verbatim and it drives me nuts. Nuts, I tell you. As Mr. Kramer once said.
He's nuts! They're nuts! They know nothing!
Yeah.
Burger Master.
So what she told John Dickerson was, I think you're going to have to ask the president. This according to CBS News. She spoke to Face the Nation as President Trump concluded a 3-day trip to Europe for the G20 summit. And yes, I'm reading this, but I just wanted to share this with you because it's fascinating. Mr. Trump came face to face, of course, with Putin, The two men have spoken on the phone, but this was their first in-person encounter. During their meeting, which was scheduled to only last 30 minutes, it went for over 2 hours. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson thankfully was there to give us the fake news. No, he was there and he said Mr. Trump pressed Putin on Russia's meddling, but the Russians offered a different account. They say both Putin and the Russian foreign minister said they believed Mr. Trump accepted Putin's denial of Russian involvement. So this is the big scuttlebutt going on right now. Haley discussed the apparent disparity between the two accounts, saying, I think we need to be realistic about what happened. You had two men walk into the room, she said. You had two men who knew the exact same thing, which is Russia did meddle in the elections, which, well, with Nikki Haley saying that, I guess she believes that as well. And whereas our president does not. But she says, I think President Trump wanted to make sure that President Putin was aware that he was acknowledging it, that he knew it. I think President Putin did what we all expected him to do, which was deny it. And I think that is what it is. That's how she spins it. President Trump still knows that they meddled. Okay, so she's saying Trump still believes they meddled. Whereas President Putin knows that they meddled, but he is never going to admit to it. And that's all that happened. That's how Nikki Haley cleared it up. Okay, whatever. I'm entranced by her, and so I will believe anything she said. Because I'm not shallow a male. If you're a politician and you're a female, oh my gosh, the mayor of Rome, she's beautiful. I was going to tell you about the two GOP senators that don't want to talk about the bill or say that the bill isn't going to happen, but apparently that page is refusing to load. But the wonderful man who needs a vowel in his name, Stephen Mnuchin, just goes M-N Uchin, said today, actually, the Trump administration still aims to pass tax reform legislation this year. Stephen is our Treasury Secretary. And the Trump administration is going to focus on cutting taxes for middle-class Americans, and businesses rather than the wealthy. I will believe that when I see it. M.N. Uchin said, we're absolutely committed to getting tax reform done this year. That's critical for economic growth. We need to get back to 3% or better GDP. Yes, we're not. We're below that. What the hell is going on? Let's get this train a-going. So, the girl from the AT&T commercials is beautiful. But enough about beauty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. M.N. Uchin dismissed recent reports that Steve Bannon, the White House advisor and the head of Breitbart, is supporting a 40% tax rate for the wealthiest Americans. He said, it's another example of a false leak that's been reported. It's not on the table. It's fake news. By the way, well, I have a couple of stories that aren't going, so we're just going to fly right through, and perhaps maybe I can make this story come back. Let's see if that. No, well, we basically covered that one about. Oh, Los Angeles had a massive power outage. That sometimes happens when it gets really hot over there. But they got the power back on, and LA just sucks a lot of power. Because they got all the movie theaters that people got to go into when it's hot and watch movies. That's what we did in Southern California. We'd go watch movies. And it's, you're near Hollywood anyway. So you watch a movie, then you go outside and you go, hey, I just saw you in a movie. Because that actor is walking down the street. That's how it is. Okay, that's not really how it is, but Facebook launched in 2004. If you're over the age of 20, there's a good chance it's been a part of your life for at least a few years, if not a full decade. When you first joined the social network, it was a place to reconnect with old friends and make new ones. That's what I liked about it. Now your feed is probably flooded with people you barely know, making posts about things you don't care about. I've seen so many babies that I will never, ever meet. So many babies. Oh, the world's full of babies. And or political memes that make you want to throw your computer out the window. If you finally had enough, deleting a Facebook account is a great way to never look back. Now, there are several other steps you can take before unplugging completely. You can delete a Facebook page you manage to reduce some of the stress. You can change your name on Facebook to make yourself harder to find, or you can block someone. If it's an ex, I've done that many times, or two, or you're trying to avoid, you're trying to avoid certain people. If it's something incriminating you're trying to cover up, it's easy to delete photos from Facebook or delete all of your Facebook messages. Or you can temporarily deactivate Facebook. This action basically puts your account on hold. Your info won't be publicly visible, but it's still there when you're ready to log back on. It's the right step if you're just looking for a temporary breather from the storm of social media. I know a lot of people that have done this. But be warned, deleting your Facebook account is forever. There are no take-backs. Your memories, all your silly jokes, every moment someone said happy birthday, people that had commented on things you posted that are dead. Now, when I get a thing where I look back on the memories on my Facebook, I see comments sometimes from people. I see dead people. I see comments from people that sadly are no longer with us. And you know what I do? I actually take a screenshot of that, because I know it's hard as heck to get back to that picture, get back to that comment. And I go, oh, or, maybe somebody said something on my timeline that was really nice that I completely forgot about that person. I will screenshot that. So remember that. It's gone. When it's gone, it's gone. That's why it's a good idea to back up your information before you say goodbye. And then the Daily Dot has a step-by-step guide that walks you through the process and how to delete forever. As we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Okay, so next show, it's going to be Shelley Shuhart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer. I have said in the past, I'm all about maybe using other social media. For example, all the stuff I talk about on this podcast, this is stuff back in the day when Facebook first came out. I used to post some of these thoughts on Facebook. And then I realized, you know what? Facebook is getting this stuff for free. I want to make it my own. And so I created the website, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST-1385-Lettuce. And you know what? You're free to do that as well. If you want to, and you want to and here's the other thing too about Facebook is you can type, when you go into Facebook, you always default, your news feed is always defaulted to top stories. I always change that to most recent, and unfortunately you have to change it constantly. It always defaults back to top stories. That way you see people's posts that you generally wouldn't ever see, because the unpopular people in this world never get heard from on Facebook. That's how that works. Just thought I'd share that. If you want more tips, hey, drop me a line. MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. And now the lovely Ariel will say that once again.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!